welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be upcycling this into an advent calendar.
It's a wooden letter and key holder that I got from a car boot sale several years ago, and it was only £1 if I remember rightly, so super bargain. It's got 3 little hooks at the bottom, and it's got some narrow but deep trays, which I will use for something, and you'll see what that is soon. It's got some water damage at the bottom. I think potentially it had been stored in somebody's garage and the floor got a bit wet. So you can see the water damage on the front and the back as well, unfortunately. But it's okay, we're going to sort that out. It's got some pink cotton on the back, which is a little bit bizarre. I'm going to have to replace that. It's made of untreated wood. It's smooth, but it's very textured, and I think it will take paint brilliantly. So I'm going to start by painting, and I've got a really thick layer to go on first. It's a sage green. It looks very light on camera, but it actually dries a bit darker, and it's a really beautiful colour. I'm using Frenchic Al Fresco. It's left over from a project I already did, so I already had the paint, which was fab. I'm painting everything, covering all the edges, the sides. This is a bit of a different video for me. It's not about style, but it's still about second-hand upcycling. I love a good upcycle. The principle's the same, it's low cost, so it's safe to experiment, and you're giving something a new lease of life. You can rediscover your love for it. Whilst I'm painting, I'm finding it quite challenging because I only have a single chunky brush. It's hard, especially around by the hooks. I've got paint on my hands almost immediately. Note to self, wear gloves next time. You may also notice I got some paint on my table. I didn't cover it, but it wiped off no problem, so all good. The reason I chose an advent calendar is that I was thinking about winter crafts, and this one is a really easy one to make your own. It's fun to do, and there's plenty of time. If you wanted to do just a 12-day advent calendar like this, you could very easily pick something up like this and then off you go.
Well, you're starting to get an idea of the colour. It's going to dry slightly darker, but it's a really nice light greyish green. I like that. So it's still very wet. I'm going to let it dry. I think it's probably going to take 2 hours to dry. So we'll come back to that in 2 hours.
Next, I'm breaking out my fabulous winter duvet set. I thrifted this. It's second-hand from a charity shop from quite some time ago, and I think it cost me £2 if I remember rightly. It's a single duvet cover, and it's double-sided. So one is white and one is red, and they've both got different patterns. They're both really pretty and vibrant and perfect for making stockings to hang from the hooks. I'm going to start by making a template of my stocking shape. I'm just freehanding it and finessing as I go. Then I'm going to cut out the desired shape. It took me a minute, but that's okay. I'm working it out as I go. Like life. Next, I'm laying the template down, I'm drawing around it and cutting out. I'm not using chalk, I don't have any tailor's chalk, so yes, I'm using biro. I'm cutting out 2 layers, one white and one red. Then I flip the shape to get 2 of each side as I'm making 2 stockings. And then I'm going to cut everything out carefully. Next, I'm placing the 2 red lining pieces wrong side together. The wrong sides are faded and the right sides are more colourful, so it's easy to tell the difference. And now I'm doing the same with the white pieces. They're going to be the outside of the stocking, and the red pieces are going to be the red lining. To make the stockings, lay the outer piece right side down. Put the lining piece right side down above it. Sew across the top to sew them together. Do the same for the other side of the lining and stockings. Remember, right side down and both pieces facing the same way, but this time facing the opposite direction to your first pieces. Then lay them on top, right sides facing. Next stage, you'll want to sew all around except for a little gap in the red lining pieces. That's where some festive magic will happen. Now they're sewn together, leaving a little gap in the lining to bag it out, or turn it inside out, or turn it in the right way. It's easy to do with a pencil or a chopstick, but you can do it with your fingers. Just make sure that you push all the way to the toes of the stocking and the liner. Then push the lining back into the stocking. It's easy. You can hand sew the gap closed, but I chose not to. You can see there are different parts of the pattern on each side, so there's a nice bit of variety there. It makes it one of a kind. Then repeat and you have 2 stockings. I want to hang my stockings, so I'm crocheting a chain and I'm joining at the end to make a loop. This I will attach to my stockings.
Hey, it's at this point that I've just taken a little lunch break because I was getting a bit rumbly, so I had some food and I tidied up, and then I decided to come back, get into it, because this is dry now and I'm getting excited, and I thought, oh, I'll just put everything together, I'll just put the stockings on it. Couldn't find them, so I had to look around. Then I remembered, oh, I tidied up, didn't I? And I threw some fabric scraps in the bin. And so of course, went over to the bin, and they're in there, my little stockings. So they're now in the wash. But I'm going to take that as a sign that maybe I need a little break. So I'm going to leave it for the rest of today. I'm going to come back tomorrow and I will see you tomorrow. It's day 2. Another day, another winter jumper. So I'm happy to report the little stockings turned out absolutely fine. They spent the night on the radiator and they're lovely and dry, lovely and clean now. That is the main thing, they're clean. Let's take a closer look at the paintwork. Considering I only did 1 coat, it's actually turned out really well. It's lovely, and I'm not going to bother doing a second coat because I don't think it needs it. I mean, in the future I might touch it up, but I've got plenty of paint, so that's all good. I didn't do a perfect job around the hooks, but it's close enough. I'm pretty happy with it, and I'm not going to fret over a couple of mistakes because it's done by hand, so what do you expect? It's going to add to the character, that's what we'll say.
Finally, we're going to create the date cards, and obviously we'll have 1 card per day. I brightened them up with some simple doodles and felt tip. My artistic skills don't really stretch the drawing, but I absolutely found this super relaxing and wanted to show you that nothing should stop you from upcycling something if you want to. It's hand created by you, and that makes it really special. Here's the finished product. It's simple, clean and cute. I popped a chocolate bar into each stocking, they're the perfect size. I paid around £1 for my key and letter holder, the paint I already had, the fabric I bought quite some time ago, and the card I already had too, so this entire project cost me around £1. Hope you enjoyed the video, thanks for watching, take care and have a great week. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!